We often hear from the woke left that representation matters. Today let's analyze this statement in detail. On the surface, it sounds like a right thing, progressive, noble, and very appealing to those with a strong moral compass. However, after just a few moments in thought, you soon discover several logical fallacies. I would argue that representation only matters in one area, government, where proper representation is necessary to protect the needs of the minority and keep the tyranny of the majority at bay. Representation in government is supremely important since it actually helps marginalized groups and leads to a more fair society. This is not the case for the entertainment industry, a place of business. Without money to invest, without good profits, the industry will not survive, so it is paramount to have the most qualified individuals working on top-level projects. I completely reject the illogical argument that representation is necessary because viewers need to see someone just like themselves in order to relate to a character or be inspired. I am white, man, first-generation immigrant. And yet, two of my favorite characters from fiction are Prophet, from the Crisis game series, and Celine, from the Underworld films. Neither of them looks like me. Not in the slightest. In Crisis, Prophet's initial actions lead to the deaths of his men. Guilt eventually drives him to sacrifice every part of himself for the sake of victory over the alien self, for the good of all mankind. Even at his lowest, when Prophet believes that all is lost, he manages to pull himself together. He keeps fighting, until humanity is safe once more. In Underworld, Celine is a 600-year-old vampire who hunts the Lycan werewolves. Her hate is fueled by the death of her family centuries ago. When fate brings Michael, a human bitten by a Lycan, into her life, she softens and begins to question what she has been taught. Celine discovers that Victor killed her family, not the Lycans. Her mentor's death came shortly after. Despite the consequences, Celine takes a stand for the right reasons. I love both of these characters. I don't look like either of them, so how did I manage to relate to these heroes? Why am I inspired by them? Why do they elicit such love and respect from me? Let's analyze. Both must face difficulties on their paths, learning from their mistakes along the way. Prophet and Celine have my utmost respect as their influence had an effect on my development earlier in life. They became role models for me. It's all due to a combination of their behavior and actions throughout the story. They do the right thing despite having to make personal sacrifices to achieve their goals. So if it is not necessary to have the same appearance to relate to a character, why then is representation so important? And what other reasons does the extreme woke left have for demanding more representation? It's simple: narcissism. Activists in the entertainment industry behave as if they are teenagers, displaying naivete, immaturity, arrogance, and extreme selfishness. A narcissist is fully in love with his or herself and believes him or herself to be perfect, beyond any criticism. The woke creators of modern content are clearly narcissists. Just look at their behavior. They're obsessed with seeing those who look like themselves on screen. Observe the blatant self-insert characters that show up again and again and again. They refuse to acknowledge any criticism of their work, aggressively retaliate against anyone who disagrees in any way, labeling those people as racist, sexist, homophobic, etc. Basically, if you dare to call them out on anything they do, you're a bigot. They never look to create anything new or original. No, instead, they take over previously established successful IPs and completely change the original concept. Step 2. Humiliate and sideline beloved legacy characters in order to elevate their own new characters. Step 3. Release a poorly made mess. Step 4. When they complain about the obviously unpopular changes, attack the original fans with mockery, gaslighting, and blatant harassment online. For a narcissist, nothing is their fault. They're perfect, and so is their message. So in their minds, it must be the audience who is the problem and needs to change. We don't need to see someone who looks just like us in order to enjoy a movie. In reality, we just need good storytelling and good characters who act like real human beings. Real people with personalities, goals, and imperfections to overcome, becoming heroes, inspiring us all. In conclusion, diversity and representation are nowhere near as important to entertainment as the quality of the final product. What we want, and what we deserve, is good quality storytelling, made by people who deserve a chance, those with real talent, experience, and passion for the material they're working with. That's enough for today. I'm Chaotic Good for the win. Thank you for your time, dear viewer. Until next time, I should go.